All right, we are live. Let's get this bad boy on the road. Bum 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 bum
Drama.
bum. Ba-ba-da-ba, dun,
Action.
dun, 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 ba-dum, bam, bam,
Comedy.
ba-dum, tss, bum, ba-dun, dun, dun, dun,
Palace
dun, dun, dun,
intrigue.
dun, 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 dun,
Story
dun, bum, bum,
Squad
bum,
presents
dun,
Clash
dun,
of the
dun, 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 dun.
Pencils.
What is happening, Tom? I was not ready for the intro. It was fantastic.
I mean, if you can believe it or not, I'm not getting paid for that. So that's
Wow. Wow.
yeah.
We're getting paid in stories, let's be honest.
Yeah. So yeah, welcome to Clash of the Pencils here.
How does
That's
this
our-
work,
that's
Tom?
our-
What's going on? Take us through the format.
Well, let me tell you, this is what's happening, Greg. This is I'm your host, Tom Sherman. I'm here with Greg the Powder Keg Peterson. Why do they call you the Powder Keg?
Not sure it's appropriate for this audience, Tom. Not sure. Let's keep it.
Interesting. All right. Well, we're
Thinking
here
out.
as we are every night to go over the top stories of the night picked out by Storybot 3000. See the latest scores and see who's on top of the leaderboard. So today we actually fielded nine original stories, believe it or not. And so Storybot was working overtime, big time.
Like smoke
yeah.
coming out of Storybot's ears.
A lot of it. So we ran those stories through the high-tech computer, Storybot 3000, and which, among other things, uses the silence of 1,000 butterflies to analyze every story. And then we take Storybot's top 3 stories and let you, the public, determine the night's winner. So, without further ado, Greg, should we crack open some of these stories?
Let's get into it. I can't wait. Arr!
Yar! Yeah, for those playing along at home. What was the prompt again?
It was set your story aboard the fastest ship in the set your pirate story, something about a ship, fast, speed.
Right. Set your pirates. Very good, Greg. Set your pirate story aboard the fastest ship on the high seas. So let's see. Who do you want to read first?
Which one makes the most sense? You pick. Let's go through
them. Let's do Bim Drongos first. How does that sound?
All right.
Pull it up here. Bim Drongo.
You want it or you want me to? I've got it. I've got a reading voice.
You've got a reading voice?
Got a reading voice. This one is tricky. It's kind of like it's reading something in dialogue. There's a lot of Storybot was really stretched with the vernacular of these pirate spellings here. All right, here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Yahar! That was farced, Fudgy said. You ain't seen nothing yet, kid. The Slithery Heel is the most souped-up, teched-out, rip-roaring vessel on the Pacific today. Watch this Papa Wheelie over this tsunami! Exclamation point. Yeehar! That was awesome. What's your Wi-Fi or password for the microwave? I need a burrito first, Captain Don. Tis it a vegan burrito? Yeehar, tis. Burns and rice. Flip _ flop _ can't _ stop 19B. Thanks, Captain Don. All this swashbuckling harsh me hungry. Maybe we can loot some heart sauce from the next vessel. Me hearties, Captain Don boomed. Set the course for Texas Peter. We'll lighten his load of Tables gold by 12:30. Gee, thanks, Captain Don. I sure hope Texas Peter sustainably sources the purpose for Hearst hog sauce. Aye, Flidgy, me matey. It be truly in a responsible company, or else I'm not Captain Don, and this isn't the Slithery Heel, the fastest ship on the high seas today. Scene.
Wow. A lot to unpack there. That that is definitely quite the dialogue piece, though. That's and you nailed it, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Say.
It was a struggle. The spelling, you just sort of read what you see and the sounds come out. But man, I didn't even comprehend what I was saying half the time.
But that's kind of like true pirate form, right? I don't really understand what they're saying most of the time either.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's and so yeah, let's run through the categories real quick. So for those listening at home, what we do is we like to go through the characters, the plot, and the setting and action, and rank each in a 1 to 10 sort of scale. So what do you think about the characters here in the Seers? I believe is the title of this one by Tim
Shears.
Drongo.
I felt like the voice was so distinct on the matey, that I felt like I knew him. I felt like I knew him in the booming voice of Captain Don. They had a nice little back and forth. So I thought they were pretty well drawn. Also, a lot of local or conscientiousness about supply chains for food. That interesting that a pirate would go there. Very
Who knew?
Very 2021 for these pirates. Respect
Right.
that. Yeah.
These are modern day pirates for a
Yeah.
modern day world.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can respect that as well. I mean, there's a depth there that you wouldn't expect from Fliggy, from a guy named Fliggy.
Fliggy was very rounded. Like I could have done several more chapters in Fliggy's voice.
He's eating vegan burritos,
Vegan
sustainably
burritos. By the way,
sourcing hot sauce.
What kind of microwave has that kind of Wi-Fi password?
Right.
Super
That's
secure. The Internet of Things is secure aboard this ship.
Mm-hmm.
There's no hacking.
It really makes you wonder what they're pirating.
What are? Is this is pirating a metaphor?
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Now we're getting places. Yeah. Probably not. Probably not. What do you think so for characters? I mean, I'm saying I'll give it a 7. I mean,
I was gonna say 7. We're right on the money there. I think that's
okay.
the first time we've ever agreed. 7. That feels exactly
7.
right.
Okay. What about the plot? What about the plot?
For all that character development to get that 7, you had to the trade-offs had to come somewhere, and I think that trade-off came in the plot. Basically, what do these characters want? Hurt sauce, right? They want heart sauce, like locally sustainably sourced, free range, like heart sauce.
Heart sauce, right? And
burritos driving after, and some gold, some gold.
Well, Tabasco gold. I just thought that they were saying like Tabasco.
I'm so focused. I didn't quite get the pun. It's at this author's at it. Bim Drongo. Bim Drongo, you got tricks, man. I see you. I see you. So I do dig the plot was a little. I wanted more. I want more to happen. I wanted them to want something and go after it and capture it. The ending didn't leave. I think a good plot is the beginning, put something into motion that the middle escalates, and then the end gives you that kind of cathartic release. Mm-hmm. And this one, if he would have had the hot sauce and had some sort of revelation, that might have been more satisfying, but I was left a little hanging.
It was food. Like it was obviously focused on Fliggy getting this meal. Like that's what the plot of this. Fliggy needed to make his lunch.
You almost say food for thought there. I think it almost wanted to slip out. Yeah.
Ooh. Little food for thought. Yeah.
I'm going 5, and that I could be talked into a 4.
Yeah. I mean, it was just a little too. What I wanted to see was why he was so hungry. He said all the swashbuckling made him so hungry, but like that seems like that's where the action is, right? I know they tell you to enter a scene, before something's happened and after something's happened, but like just to see the guy eat lunch, I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, you got to sit through the character development, and I don't really know. And that goes into the setting too. Is like, yeah, we're on a boat. We're on this high tech boat, apparently in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. But like, what does this break room look like? I assume they're hanging out in the break room. I don't know where else pirates would have a microwave. I don't know.
The one thing that I want to say about the action is that there was a pretty great image in the beginning that was like this slithery heel. Watch me pop some wheelie over a tsunami. Like that. That's pretty great. That had some potential. Like this can clearly just get through the ocean. There's like, and we can do tricks in tsunami situations. That seems like we want more of that. We want more of that. So I think there was some good. I liked the detail around the microwave. I like the detail of all the the food. I think food is a really good thing to put in there. Like gets plugged into a brain. But so I'll give it like a 5 or 6 on setting.
Yeah, that seems about right. I was thinking 6. I mean, it is what it is. It was pretty descriptive. It had some stuff in there, a little, it kept me engaged, I guess, mentally making that picture, especially once we started seeing the Texas Pete boat nearby, or we started going on the next mission to take over the Texas Pete boat. I was kind of able to envision a giant bottle of hot sauce that they were about to, commandeer. I don't know. It gave me some imagery. That's all.
Right on. Well, let's see what Bim John goes up against. How's that?
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Do you want me to read the next one, or do you want to read the next one?
I'm getting text messages that say ZZZ. I think people are bored. And there's a request. While we're in beta, can we enable the live chat so people can heckle us?
I'm
going to say no. I'm going to say no, Brown Klinger. You can't heckle us. You will just watch.
Well, that's one of the positive sides about having a channel for kids on YouTube. They disable the live comments so we can't get heckled. Yeah.
Clutch.
Yeah. Burn. All right. So yeah, let's go on to Kathy Addy B. How does that sound? We'll read her story real quick.
All right, you got this one?
Yeah, I got you. Have you ever seen such a storm, Bonnie? Muffled, malignant, and aggravated, Marshall sounded over the waves in booming thunder to crewmate Bonnie. She was struggling to hold the sail line in position as her hat was too big for her head. She cast it off into the wind and sea. Blast it all! Bloody hell! If the monster himself were to show, we'd be wrecked at sea. This storm seems to be a mere blessing in comparison. Swaying and heaving, the Cassonate tumbled almost sideways as the ocean threw them about. They had already lost 4 crew members to the mammoth waves. The lightning carved angels and monsters into the early evening sky. The horizon was non-existent as Bonnie warred with the line, burning her hands on the rope. Marshall swung across the body of the ship to her side. They smiled at each other, as if knowing their fate all the while. A beat. A sound of whiplash and broken mast. The boat broke in two in the center. Bonnie and Marshall, clinging to their line, watch in awe as the deep blue mistress began to digest their beloved Cassanote. I never knew the northern sea to be a kind one, Marshall nearly whispered in Bonnie's ear. As home became wreckage, Marshall swung himself and Bonnie off into the sea. Clinging to driftwood and barrels, they tumbled down into the deep. It felt as if years had passed, but as they slowly resurfaced, as the storm came down to just a rain, "Look, my hat!" Bonnie exclaimed. It lay upon Marshall's driftwood.
Wow
is right. Let's see. That's Kathy Addy B. That's intense.
The intensity of that. There were some visceral images being described. The burning her hands on the rope, the deep blue mistress. There's some real art going on here.
The lightning carving angels and monsters into the sky. I mean, come on.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
What a mythological register.
I'm wondering if Kathy Addy B is juicing. That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, we don't. We don't allow master's degree, let alone PhD.
No.
So,
I mean, come on.
yeah.
But I mean, that was I don't know. That had me going the whole time almost. I mean, it personally it kind of dropped off at the end, but
Let's start at plot. Let's start plot because it's like it had me going. It had me kind of the intensity of the exposition, the descriptions, and yet I felt like the hat at the end was because Kathy Eddie B ran out of age. They hit the limit and they had to wrap it up, and it wasn't fully. It didn't land. It didn't land the ending. Which is really too bad because there were so many things going on. First of all, the monster. The monster is unmentioned. They're clearly monster hunting, and the storm and the monster are both here. I'm very intrigued by that, and yet the ending kind of fizzled from the terrible force of both of those.
It was a big missed opportunity because the hat, but like
the
they're on the
monster
driftwood.
Come up and catch
The monster's
and kill
right
them.
there.
The
The
monster
monster
should have
is
like had a
right
tentacle
there.
on the hat and dragged them to their watery grave.
Yeah. And it could have happened in that last line. You know what I mean? Like they could have gotten the monster in there, and but you know, still room for a sequel.
The language was exquisite. The language, the imagery was exquisite. The action, I will give this a very high rating on setting. Also a comment. What kind of pirates are in the North Sea, man? These are some cold pirates.
Dude, when you're monster hunting, you got to go where the monsters
you go where the monsters are. You go where, yeah.
You know, that's it's strong all around. I mean, really, I'd give it an 8 all the way down the board on the characters. Well, maybe not the characters. I don't know. The characters were all right.
I'll give the setting a very strong. And we don't have a category for just language, but it was beautifully written. It was very interesting to hear it orally recited. Was different a little bit for me than trying to decipher the handwriting. That allowed the music to sing kind of in its lyrical quality. And that was a rich. It was like a luxurious lyrical experience to hear it recited aloud. So shout out Kathy Eddie B. All right, let's.
Boom.
Is there anything else
to the next
say?
one? No, I mean, I high marks all around.
Curious to see the results. What's the internet going to think? How do they weigh these? The comic tone of popping a wheelie over a tsunami versus Kathy Eddie B's gorgeous prose versus here. Are you ready for Pierce Brody?
Yeah, I mean, I hope I am. I
don't know. I don't know what's about to happen. All right, I got this one. With a 45 pressed against my temple and last night's dinner of mangoes and Bacardi darks splashed across the deck, I found myself pondering why on earth I had trusted my Uncle Wilson and yet another of his harebrained schemes. Don't you want to be a pirate? Don't you want to go on an adventure and go hunting for rubies and emeralds and sapphire? He had asked. I'm 13 years old. I love rum. I've seen the movie Hook 17 times, and before my mother left us, my father had always been screaming something about trusting Elon and dumping fiat currencies. So yeah, of course I wanted to be a pirate. Of course I wanted a chance to accumulate wealth that was backed by a physical commodity. With that in mind, against my better judgment, I woke up at 4 a.m. and helped Uncle Wilson break into my stepdad's shed and steal his 3-passenger Sea-Doo. From there, we bought copious amounts of rum and mangoes, pirate stuff, towed the Sea-Doo to the dock, and everything was fine and dandy. Wilson and I jumped onto the Dew and gleefully popped open the Bacardi. As my BAC level rose with the sun, I kicked back, closed my eyes, and listened to the waves crashing against the Sea-Doo. Life was good. We were going to be rich. So how did I get here with a gun to my head, watching my uncle expel mangle and bile all over this fine Somalian yacht? Well, here's the thing about the high seas. Some days you're the pirate and some days you're the booty. And if you spend 24 straight hours ignoring your radar while obliterating mangoes and rum with your alcoholic uncle, blaring T-Pain and giving the finger to any boats you pass, including ones flying the Somalian flag, then you're practically begging to be the booty. Turns out, Somalians don't take kindly to being disrespected in any setting, let alone the high seas. Tap, tap. I was succumbing to my rum-induced malaise, so my captor rapped on my forehead twice with his pistol to secure my attention. Boy, you want to make it off this boat alive? Shivering, I threw up a little on my chest and vigorously nodded affirmatively. All you have to do is denounce your uncle, film me saying, I am the captain now, post it to Instagram, and I will let you live. But we will keep your uncle. Is that acceptable? Now, Wilson was family. But over the last 24 hours, he had cajoled me into committing no fewer than 3 misdemeanors, indirectly given me alcohol poisoning, and frankly, most likely lied to me about the rubies and the emeralds. So as I listened to him retching and heaving on the lower deck, I chuckled, stared straight into my captain's murderous eyes, and whispered with a smile, "You want that in portrait or landscape?" Scene.
Man, I mean, what a 13-year-old. You know, I don't know what I was doing when I was 13, but not this. And I wish I was.
I would greenlight this script. I would watch this.
Yeah, I mean, especially if we could get T-Pain signed on
Oh,
to
yeah.
drop the album soundtrack for
The
it.
3-person Sea-Doo, nice touch. Nice touch. Don't know about the 3-person Sea-Doo. That was a thing, but yeah, as the fastest ship in the high seas, I liked the interpretation there. It's kind of exception to the rule.
Right. So it's metaphorically fast. Like, man, that's a fast Sea-Doo.
Yeah.
Not like actually fast.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's I don't know. I mean, it was great. I mean, it had a strong character in it, and there was obviously the Uncle Wilson is has his demons that he's struggling with. It's it's almost kind of like a Rick and Morty sort of type deal. I mean,
Yeah.
even the Somalian pirate was kind of, why did he crave to be so much like that one Somalian pirate everybody knows about from that Tom Hanks movie? Like what was he craving that he needed to be on Instagram saying, "I am the captain now"? Like, why? So like all of these, there are a lot of murky motivations behind everybody, which makes for interesting reading in my opinion.
It was interesting throughout all 3 that like we got a lot of modern stuff. They took the pirate story, all the motifs and conventions, the cartoon, the swashbuckling, and they all kind of gave it a modern twist. They made it fresh again. Whether it was through the organic burritos, or whether here we've got references to Instagram, cryptocurrency. By the way, favorite line was owning something backed by physical commodity as the crypto.
Yeah.
I like that little
that whole paragraph. That whole paragraph aside was just gold. I mean, for creating the motivation behind that character. I mean, he's 13 years old. He loves rum. He's seen Hook 17 times. And his mother and father are screaming about Elon. You know what I mean? It's like get on the Sea-Doo.
I will read
go
300
get some
pages of this, Pierce Ferrari. Yeah. I will.
Yeah. So
that voice, that I think narrative, that emotion, that character development, it's really a voice thing. It's a voice thing. And so I'd say, yeah, the character and the voice. I mean, 10. The plot, I thought the plot was great. I thought the plot had an interesting twist. I thought the betrayal of the uncle at the end, and after this 24-hour sort of thing, there was a beginning, a middle, and end, an inciting incident that pays off with a betrayal that you can justify. This 13-year-old is like, I don't know. He's got the wisdom and sort of, I don't know, grittiness of like a 65-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, he's seen some things. He's
seen some things, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to disagree with it a little bit on the plot. Where I mean, I liked it, but what really, I don't know, it kind of jarred me out of the whole story itself was the question in the middle of it like where it was like, so how did I end up here? It kind of
Mhm.
seemed like a flashback within,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
like-
And it,
It's the Fight Club. It's like
Right.
you can't really enunciate vowels with a gun in your mouth. That's the
Right.
opening, and then you go back in time, and yeah,
right, yeah.
yeah,
So that kind of actually took me out of the story and you know, brought me back to the beginning a little too. I don't know. I was already in it. I was already invested. I was ready to keep moving forward, and I don't know, but it, you know, it kind of works. So I'm just
Mhm.
gonna go with a 7 or 7.5. You
Right
know,
on.
I can't go a 10 on the plot. That's all.
The setting, the imagery, the descriptions. I thought tonally it was very. It had a kind of pop of. It had a cool factor that on the surface level, like the Sea-Doo, the Crypto, the Elon, T-Pain. It had a lot. It had a lot of cultural cachet. It was very different in register to the kind of mythological monster, the deep blue
Mhm.
mistress. It was a nice contrast between those two worlds.
Yeah, it, you know, and I definitely had the whole Pirates of the Caribbean type vibe. You know, I could see like some like nice crystal blue water, you know, a nice yacht. Like I was there. I was drinking mangoes and rum. It was interesting. Each of these different stories kind of took us to a different part of the world, and I was able to see it in
Yeah,
almost all.
yeah,
of
yeah,
them,
yeah.
you
That's a
know,
good point.
yeah.
All right, well, let's do some leaderboard stuff.
Yeah.
This is it, man.
This is where the magic happens, right? Is let me pull up the leaderboard for
There's
us.
cash on the line.
There is cash on the line. Not just pride, not just glory, not just fame.
No, there's cold cash until we can mint
Cold,
the Story
hard
Squad. We
cash.
are working on the Story Squad NFT, but until then, we're gonna have to settle for actual currency.
Right, right. And unfortunately, it is fiat. So I mean, you know, maybe Pierce Perotti doesn't even want this.
Lies, Tom.
It's all right, let me see here. All right, so we're looking at the leaderboard right now, but that is not the current leaderboard. I'm going to hit update and we're going to see exactly where everything stands.
Get to it.
All right. So, what do we got going on in here?
The daily will be the weekly, and then tomorrow.
Boom. All right, look at this. Pierce Perotti, 165. Neil, look at that. He wasn't even in the top 3, and he's got 147. That is epic. That is unbelievable. Watch out for that guy.
Yeah. Neil might have hacked the algorithm.
I think he has the all-time highest score.
That is the all-time highest score. We are, as a bug, just to let the internet know, we're working on scaling down this so you can only score 0 to 100 based on what Storybot 3000 gives you. And then the if you didn't see it on the app, you get 100 points for third place, 125 for second, 150 for the gold medal position. And if you vote as well, you get another 15 points on top of that. So that's why we got that Pierce Perotti at 165. Neil coming in, sneaking right in there at 147.
Wow, right from out of Kathy Addy B.
Yeah,
you know,
140. And
Bim Drongo had 115.
Drongo 115.
E. Kizelo 174. Joanna Man 71. Bixby 62. Hare Krishna 60. And Student 4 47. And Jabberwocky coming in hot with a 15. But you know, still anybody's game. Honestly,
anybody's game. The powers of the people.
So let's and the weekly, same deal. I mean, this is day 1, you know. So what do you guys want? I don't know. Probably a second day. And that's why, look at this prompt. It's NASA tryouts. You've been selected to be the first kid to walk on Mars. Write about what happens when your space mission goes horribly wrong. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good.
Giving you that. It has to go wrong.
Has to go wrong.
All right.
And you know what? I don't know. That's seems right. I don't know. Let's just end this. Let's just end this while
we'll come up with an outro later. Workshop mode.
All right. So there you have it, folks. Clash of the Pencils nightly live stream, round 1. Pierce Perotti on top. Y'all better get him. I don't know. Until next time. You have anything to say to the people out there?
No, I'm late. I'm about to be late for a class. I gotta go.
All right. I'm gonna shuffle papers.
Frazzled.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get frazzled. We'll shuffle some papers around. And then I hit end.